Let's start with leads coming in from your website. Your emails, your texts, and advertising are getting people to fill out this form. So Arno here fills out this form, hits submit, and the next thing that happens is that in SalesNexus, Mary, my sales rep, sees Arno at the top of her call list. So she immediately knows that we have a new web lead. She clicks into Arno's record and sees everything that Arno has submitted in that form. His phone number, his email address. SalesNexus has even found his profile picture automatically, as well as links to his social sites. Mary can click and dial the phone, and have Arno on the phone immediately. And that's the key to web lead response, calling quickly. SalesNexus makes that easy. And you can see here, not only will Mary get alerted to call Arno, but Arno's also going to automatically get an email. Tomorrow, he's going to get a text message, and then the day after that, he's going to get another email. All of that is completely automatic. And these emails and text messages are personalized, so they're using Arno's name and other specifics that he's provided to us. And when we get Arno on the phone, it's easy for Mary to categorize him. She knows exactly what to ask him, and she can easily enter in all that information. And all of this info can be used to segment, to organize, and even automate new campaigns to be triggered based on the information we're learning from Arno. For referrals coming in, you can have a different campaign for that, to remind your sales rep to follow up on the lead, as well as send automated emails to that lead. For people who call in, you can have a different campaign for that sends emails and text messages and reminds your sales reps to call up. Whatever you think the sequence should be, you can have as many campaigns, as many different steps as you need, using texts, emails, and calls. And you can keep track of what's going on. So Mary, the sales rep, has a dashboard that lets her keep an eye on how she's doing, what's in her sales pipeline, what's closed so far, and what is close to closing. And also how she's doing with our calls goal. If 40 calls a day is our target, then Mary's right on track here. She can keep track of clients that maybe she hasn't had any contact with in a while, and maybe she should reach out to. And where all her leads are coming from. But at a marketing level, because SalesNexus is your marketing automation and sales automation tool all in one, sure, you can keep track of how many leads have come in this month from all the different sources of leads that you have. But more importantly, you can compare that with how many of them are turning into clients. And almost always there's an aha moment here. You're going to see some things that you spend a lot of time on, but aren't really closing very well. They're not generating a lot of revenue. While other things that you may not be investing a lot of time and money in are closing well. So maybe you should redirect some resources there. Same thing here. I can see the actual sales revenue generated by lead source, because SalesNexus has all of that information in the system. Need to build a bigger list of potential customers to sell to? Instead of spending money and time on trade shows and networking events, what if you could search for a list of potential customers and start immediately reaching out to them? In this example, we're targeting architectural companies, and we want to talk to people who are at the partner level. So we do that search here, and it comes back with 2,200 partners at architectural firms. And I have phone numbers, personal emails, and professional emails. We take that list, load it into SalesNexus, and we add it to a campaign. I'm going to select my lead nurturing campaign, which is a series of emails, 10 emails stretched out over 10 weeks, every 7 days. So I turn on that campaign. Let's start it tomorrow morning at 7:30. As big a list as you can load into the system. And you say add to campaign, and boom, it's set it and forget it. Every one of those 3,000 contacts is getting automated emails that are personalized for each one of them. So while your team is focused on clients and warm prospects, those emails are going out automatically. Then Mary, my sales rep, sees Linda pop up on her call list today because she has engaged with one of those lead nurturing emails. All Mary has to do now is click on Linda's link, click and dial the phone, and then as she's on the phone with Linda, she begins to categorize her and collect information in the format that you've customized in SalesNexus. And each one of these changes in Linda's record can trigger a new campaign to begin. And now, because of the specific answers to the questions that I ask Linda that I input here, a different campaign has been triggered that's more personalized for Linda, with text messages and calls to make sure we follow up properly. Now, let's see how easy it is to create these campaigns in SalesNexus. To make it really easy, I can select from pre-designed templates that look great. I'll give my template a name. And now it's very easy. Just click on the area that you want to edit, change the image, select the image that I want to use, scroll down to the text, edit the text. I can include certain mail merge tags. I'll start with my first name field, personalize it, and then I can personalize it with information about my company as well. So I can mail merge in the customer's information as well as mine. Then I just save my template, and now we'll create a campaign. And the first thing we want to do in our campaign is send an email. So we'll hit Add, give it a subject, and then select that template that we just created. And there we go. Now we have a campaign with one email. But with SalesNexus, we're going to keep that going. Next, we're going to create a text message. We can create a new template and mail merge in fields, just like we did with the email. Or we can use existing templates that we've already created previously. I'll select from a template that I already created, and then create the text that we want to send on the second day of the campaign, day 1. Then we're going to call them. And we'll make that on day 2. And just like this, we can keep going. We can add another email or text message or a task for our team. And save our campaign. And now we're ready to look up any list based on all of our custom fields. I'll look up all of my active brokers, add them to a campaign, and select my prospect follow-up campaign. And then add all 126 of those people to that campaign, just with one click. And you can make it completely automatic. Just go to Automation Plans, and as you see here, I can have a prospect automation that triggers the campaign we just created. In this case, anytime the client status is changed to prospect, our prospect follow-up campaign is automatically scheduled. So they'll receive an email immediately, a day later they'll receive a text message, and 2 days later the salesperson will be reminded to call them. And if you like, you can make it even more advanced. If you want to refine it, let's say if a potential customer's status changes to prospect, and their number of bathrooms is greater than 5, meaning they have a very big house and they're a very big prospect. Then SalesNexus can accommodate that. You can automate any process using your custom fields and your campaigns, whatever works for you using the SalesNexus automation plans. You can customize SalesNexus any way you like to work exactly the way you need it to work, to organize information about your customers and leads. It's super simple, and you don't need a programmer. All you need to do is come here to Settings, and create and change fields to put on the screen for your leads and clients. For example, let's say I need to include a type of material that I'm using to build my product. I can make it a certain type of field. In my case, I'd like to make it a drop-down with certain choices. I can save it, enter in the choices I'd like the question to offer, and I can add as many choices as I like. If it's a super long list, I can even alphabetize it here. You've got all kinds of control over this. Just set up any field you like, exactly the way you like it. And then when you're in any record for a lead or customer, just click on the gear icon here and add that field. I'll find it here on the left from all of the available fields I've made and add it to the right column. And let's say I want to put this at the top so that I can find it right away. And save. And now it's been added to this layout for all customers and leads. Now, a great way to get started with SalesNexus is to import your contacts from Outlook or from Google. And it will not only synchronize those contacts, it will also automatically archive all of your emails. I'll come to Outlook, for instance, click the account to authorize, and accept. Now, Outlook contacts like Richard are brought into SalesNexus and synced. And all of those emails we had together in Outlook, both sent and received, are now archived here in SalesNexus for my reference. In fact, here's an email from one of my staff members that I wasn't even copied on. I can just click that email to bring it up in Outlook. This happens automatically with your entire staff, so you can better collaborate with other members of your team. You can also sync up with your Outlook or Google Calendar and synchronize all of your events. For instance, here's an invitation to a meeting sent by one of my customers. I'll come to my SalesNexus calendar, and here it is. And in SalesNexus, if I need to move one of these events, let's say I'd like a bit more breathing room between these, I'd like another half an hour before this one starts. I just drag and drop it into that next half-hour slot, and if I go back and look at my Google Calendar, I can see that it's been moved. Everything is synced in both directions. And there you go. Now you can see how easy it is, how powerful it is, and how flexible it is.